Because the Electoral Commission is planning to cancel the registration of inactive political parties. Now, there are currently 192 political parties that have not participated or renewed their registration with the IEC. Joining us is the Commission's Chief Electoral Officer, Sy Mamabolo. Mr. Mamabolo, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it here on Newzroom Afrika. Let's just talk about how this comes to be. So when you register, how long is the time span for that registration? How long is it active for? And what is the process then in renewing?
Well, it normally takes, excuse me, about 2 months to register a party, give and take. However, what is important is that in the event you don't hold a seat in a municipal council or provincial legislature or the National Assembly, and you don't take part in an election, every year at the end of January, you have to write to the Commission and indicate your continued existence. Failing that, you are liable for your registration to be cancelled, which is the process that we are undertaking in relation to the 192 political parties.
So have the 192 political parties been made aware that their registration will now be nullified?
Indeed, we have written to them, and because we have to do that in terms of the promotion of Administrative Justice Act, we've got to give them an opportunity to make representation. So we've done so, and they have until the 24th of March to indicate, to make representation as to why the Commission should not proceed with the cancellation.
I don't know if you're able to split this by any chance, though, into a provincial and a national level then, or if they're both, they're operating in both. Of the 192, how many of those are registered then on a national level, or which of those are registered on both a national and a provincial level?
I don't have that with me now, but that's the detail that the Commission can provide with ease. All we can say at the moment is that the register of parties contains some 609 political parties. And if we were to effect this cancellation, it will result with 417 remaining on the register of political parties.
Does this affect that party, whichever party it may be, that has now been determined as inactive? Does it determine, or does it mean that their future as a political party can no longer come to bear? Meaning that if you were made inactive, can you then register at a later stage to still be a political party and participate in elections here in the country?
Yes, of course. There is no bar to you being re-registered once more, but that would mean you have to go through the process of registration anew. In other words, you must start afresh. And depending whether another party takes your name or it has a logo that resembles your party, you may not be able to re-register that party, because the effect of registration is that the Commission must protect your party name, it must protect your acronym, it must also protect your symbol or the logo. So, but once your registration is cancelled, you therefore lose that protection.
I wanted to ask, just as a general question then, Mr. Mamabolo, if I may, with regards to, at the very height, 609 registered political parties, which of course is reduced now, but even that figure, some may ask the question as to whether that may be just too many for a democratic dispensation. Are you able to detail for us, however, though, I know you aren't able to detail whether it's the right number or not, but is it easy enough for the IEC to operate efficiently and effectively with that many parties being part of an electoral process in a country?
Look, 609 parties is quite substantial, and you see that reflected with the ever-increasing number of contestants on the ballot paper. Certainly, if the 2024 elections is anything to go by, you could see that voters, especially those with low literacy levels, are struggling with the ever-increasing size of the ballot paper. So although people have rights, I mean, our political rights are enshrined in Section 19 of our Constitution. We also have got to find a proper balance between the exercise of those rights as well as having a meaningful choice for people. Because once the number of parties is such that it obfuscates the vote, or rather it confuses the voter in terms of exercising a choice, I don't think that's a very efficient political system. It's a matter that political scientists, I suppose, will have to research a bit more. But however, from the point of view of electoral administration,
Yeah.
it is beginning to create complications for the voter.
So would the e-voting help in any way, technological advancements like that?
Well, certainly, if the country were to adopt e-voting, because once you've loaded all the parties on the ballot, it's easy to manipulate up and down the screens on a device. It is not so easy on paper.
Indeed. The international, or rather the IEC's Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Sy Mamabolo, then joining us there. Thank you so much for helping us with that discussion. Just issuing notices of cancellation of registration then to at least 192 political parties who are currently inactive as it stands, then have not renewed their registration, have not contested general elections, so ultimately losing their registration.